Hello viewers, welcome back once again to the Mother's Chat Room. I'm always excited, more than excited, to have these guests. You people, I don't know how you feel, but it is always amazing to have people telling you their stories, how they managed to maneuver through motherhood amidst whatsoever that was happening. You can imagine a working mother, a lawyer trying to maneuver through here and there. Never at any one point did she pause work. She was here before in episode 1 and she took her through a little bit of how she lived her life. But today she's coming to tell us the real detail. She has come to tell us and to dig deeper into how she used to live her life. Let's welcome Linda and Sechanzi to take her through. You're welcome, Linda.
Thank you, Maureen. I am happy to be here once again, and I am happy and humbled to share my story to the young mothers out there.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Linda, for that beautiful intro. Now, Linda, when you were here before in episode 1, you told us about how you lived your life, how you conceived and you gave birth to your child, and everything was okay. You gave birth normally and managed to go back home. And you didn't have a help, but somehow you managed to maneuver through. So today in particular, I just want you to go a little deeper into your life. How did you manage to juggle through? Because I imagine you would wake up in the morning, go to work, come back, have to pick the child from the kindergarten like you said in episode 1. So just tell us a bit of how it was, any challenges that you really experienced and they've never left your memory, and some of those beautiful things that you remember during that time of, when I purchased this for my child, I really felt it was worth working.
Thank you, Maureen. Like I said in episode 1, my story is quite long, but I am going to try and cut it a little bit short. So, being a working mother and a mother, of course, I had a few challenges that I encountered here and there, but somehow I think the Lord has been faithful because I managed to pull through. I remember when my leave ended, I had to resume work, and it was quite hectic. I was used to the business of sleeping,
breastfeeding, watch some TV.
You watch TV and you're good to go.
Yes.
And then here came a time where I had to wake up early, like I should be at work at 8.
Yes.
Imagine. And then because I did not have a maid, I had to wake up as early as 4:30. So I used to be up by 4:30, prepare for the baby, prepare breakfast for my husband, because I made sure every other day he would go after he had had breakfast. So I would leave home at about 7:15 to go to the daycare, and then I would factor in the issues of jam, but I would be at work by 8. And then all through the day I am busy working, and somehow I'm thinking about my baby, and then in the evening I have to leave work by 5. And be home, get to the daycare, pick the child, and being a mother without a maid, I mean,
it's like you're starting work afresh.
Exactly.
Your day has just begun.
It felt like my day had just begun. So I would get home, and then I had to prepare for the baby, and then my husband was also waiting to be attended to, and it was quite hectic.
Overwhelming.
Yes, I really felt overwhelmed, but because I knew that this was responsibility that I had to accomplish, I used to work within time.
Okay, you used to time yourself.
Yes, I used to time myself, and I knew that when I leave work at 5, I would be home by 6:30 or 6. So I knew 6:30 I would be picking the child from the
daycare.
And then I get home. When I get home, I have to shower the baby, and I know that is done. And then I organize the porridge, and after organizing the porridge, I do a little bit of the breastfeeding and blah blah, and then organize supper. And after I have organized the supper. Of course, now at that time I wasn't thinking about my own self.
You get lost into the two babies, the big baby and the newest baby, and you just forget about yourself.
So I would recall, I'm supposed to look after myself after, probably at night.
After time is really past.
And I have attended to my husband, and everything is ready, and then I'm like, okay, I haven't attended to myself. You know what, Lynn, you need to look after yourself. Now that time I remember I have to eat, I have to organize for tomorrow.
Did you have the breast milk?
Yeah, I used to, but still I had challenges because I used to be stressed at work.
Because I already imagine the stress at work, then the movements, and you have to go to pick the child.
Of course, I had challenges with breast milk, but somehow, like I said, I trusted God through all this, and somehow I got the breast milk, though at times it was hard. I would come back to breastfeed, and then the baby would breastfeed one round, and the milk is done. Then he wakes up in the night crying. So personally, my baby started drinking before he made 6 months because the milk wasn't enough. So I started introducing juice the years before, and then I added formula to the breast milk. So he would take formula during the day, and then in the evening I would introduce some small juice because he would cry the entire night.
When he was very hungry because you don't have enough breast milk. I think you could even forget to drink the waters and all the things mothers speak about. So you were living this kind of busy life. So during that time, would you like have time to go and visit, go out? Did you somehow manage to have some relaxing time? Because the way I imagine your life, I just imagine someone who thinking about how to go and deal with this at home and get done with this, deal with about hubby, get done with this and rest and prepare for tomorrow. Was another case?
That was it exactly. For the first 7 months, I did not know anything called outing. I didn't know anything called relaxing. I was always between home and work, home and work, home and work.
Didn't you at some point feel like you were sick? Like even when you're not sick, but wouldn't you feel like your body is overwhelmed, or it was natural that your body just got used to the whole process that you just managed to flow through?
Well, for the first months, I felt a little bit overwhelmed, but I think my body adjusted with time. So the first 3 months were hectic after I had resumed work. When my baby turned 6, wow, I used to feel so tired. I would even doze off in the seat. Okay, I would come back home, and then I would breastfeed the baby, and he would sleep. And before I slept, I would doze off in the sitting room. That is how bad it was. But somehow, I think later on, my body got used.
Your body somehow managed to maneuver through, and you were okay. Everything moved on normally.
Yeah,
so do you mean to say you've never employed a maid? You forgot about the entire story of the maid, and you still proceeded with a daycare up to date? So you've never had the experience of the maid?
No, I don't know what it feels like having a maid, because I feel like up to now, I feel like it's better. My child is safer at the daycare.
At the daycare. So is that the very daycare that you've been, taking your child for all that long, or you later changed? So, yes. So with the experience of the daycare and all that, people usually narrate stories that you take your child with maybe the clothes, you take your child with different snacks, and sometimes the clothes get lost. The other children take the clothes. Then also it is also rumored that what happens at daycare is that the child easily gets diseases, like somehow she gets infected, because they're with fellow children, they get flu, their immunity is not really boosted up. Is it true?
Yes, about
that you're always treating flu all the time, flu and cough, flu and cough.
Day in, day out, and that is my only problem. Even if you treat flu today, other parents aren't treating. So you treat yours today, tomorrow the other day, and after 1 week, the boy has flu again. So you treat cough today, and you're in and out of hospital because of flu and cough. That is the challenge I have gotten with the daycare.
Okay, other than that, everything is okay?
Besides that, the rest of the things are okay. Except for the clothes, because when you take a child to a daycare, they will tell you to buy clothes. So you must have a budget, a home budget, clothes for home, and a school budget, clothes for school.
Oh, like not uniforms, but particular clothes that
Yes, they would tell
so you don't
to
have
buy
to
as many as you can, because they want the child to stay clean. They will tell you we will change as much as we want, because they want the child to stay clean.
Okay, so ideally they do the washing and everything. You don't have to come with those dirty clothes home. How about the cooking? The children who are particular, I enjoy this, I don't enjoy this. Can they prepare for my child a particular kind of meal?
Yes,
Or
they
can
do
I carry
prepare.
my special stuff and then I tell them to prepare for my child?
Yeah, they do prepare according to your child's taste. Personally, my son does not take milk. He is lactose intolerant. So basically what I do, I told them to do away with the milk. He drank the milk while he was young, and I think when he was about to make 1 year, he reacted to that milk, and the doctor advised that we remove the milk.
And you explained that to the people
So
of
I
the
explained
daycare?
that to the daycare, and they keep telling me, buy what you want us to feed your child on. So I buy whatever I want, and before they feed anything with my child, they call me and ask me, should we feed this with your child? Are you okay with this? And once you say no, they will not give. That is how good they are.
Wow, that is beautiful. So, from that whole story and whatever that transpired in your life, are there any achievements that you have got, or you can look back and say it was worth working?
Yes, they are. I always wanted to be the kind of mother that is not waiting for the husband to provide, especially when it comes to my child. Because certain things, a child might want something, and you're asking for the money and it's not coming as fast as you want it to. So if you're working, it's easy for you. In fact, you can buy and then talk about it later. Or most of the times you find it easy for you to just buy and not even talk about it.
Wow, so the fact that you're able to get everything that you want at that very time that you need it by yourself at least keeps you motivated to continue working.
Exactly.
Wow. Linda, in the first episode, there is something that you spoke about, but then we were short of time. You say that your child at some point called you auntie. So it meant that there was a gap. There was a gap because you could not bond with your child. How did you solve that? There's someone who inboxed me and told me to, in case we bring Linda back, let her address that, because it feels like you already now have that bond with your child and everything worked out.
Yeah, at some point, I used to leave home early. I would leave as early as... I got to some point and work became so hectic, and I had to leave as early as 6:30. So during those times, my husband would take the child to the daycare. And then I would come back home at 10. So clearly...
10 p.m.?
Yes.
In the night?
In the night. I would leave home and my son was sleeping. And I would return and he was still sleeping. So basically there was no way he would understand that I'm his mother.
True.
He already thought I was an auntie that was just
stepping in.
So he started calling me aunt, and I felt so bad.
How did you feel?
I felt depressed. In fact, I remember the first time he called me auntie, it felt like
traumatizing.
And then he called me auntie again, and that night I cried.
I feel
then between me and my soul, I prayed about it. But then what I did was I reduced the hours of work. So at that time, we were working on some projects, and I had to go to work so early. So I started going to work like about 7:30. Again, I went back to my old schedule, and then I started leaving work at about 8. Yes. And then I would return home, I would pick him, have fun with him.
I still feel that was long still, but it's okay.
Yeah, it was still long, but it was fair.
It managed to work.
And then, along the way, while he called me auntie, he avoided the milk.
It's okay.
And when he avoided the milk, I mean, his immunity went low, and he started getting infections. I was in and out of hospital, and I got frustrated because first of all, I didn't have time for my son. He was getting sick, and yeah, I felt like I was losing it all. But somehow, like I said, God has been at the
forefront of it all. You have somehow managed to maneuver through.
Somehow I have managed to maneuver through.
Wow, that is beautiful. That is beautiful. We also want to say thank you so much to Mr. Sechanzi, who stood in the gap and who still stands in the gap for the child and for the beautiful wife, Linda Sechanzi. Thank you so much, Linda, for your time. Thank you very, very much for being able to open up and speaking to the mothers about your journey. It is not easy, by the way, but it was God. Indeed, it is God, because working and, being able to juggle through all that, and somehow till that you're still working and your child is okay, we bless the Lord for that. So, I cannot thank you enough. I would like you to say bye to the people, and just one last word to the mothers. Mothers who are out there and they give up their jobs for for staying home because they don't know how to juggle through, just tell them one or two, and then we shall count it an evening.
Thank you so much, Maureen. One last word to our viewers and the young mothers out there. Please do not give up your work. Juggle your work alongside motherhood, but most importantly, do not forget to breastfeed. Breastfeed, and breastfeed, because when you breastfeed, you're going to avoid issues of infections among the children, okay? And that is most important. So please breastfeed. See you then.
Thank you, viewers, for watching the Mother's Chat Room. Thank you so very much for liking, subscribing, and sharing these beautiful stories to the fellow mothers. We know that we are preaching a certain gospel, and yes, please just do us a favor and breastfeed your child, because then you will save costs of the hospital, and that is it. Otherwise, I remain Maureen Keikato at the Mother's Chat Room. See you next time. Bye.